I hope you're having an amazing day. My name is Colin, and in this video I will give you a full review, full research live and price prediction of the Aradena play to earn strategy game. So this came to my attention not too long ago, and when I say not too long ago, I mean less than 48 hours ago. Somebody tipped me on this project and it looks great. I've already made my small investment and I might do a bigger investment. So far I've committed about $2,000 into this project, and I will show you in this video exactly why. This will be quite a long research video, so sit back and learn. Watch me research this project, why I think it's good, why I think some features might be bad, and why it might be a worthy opportunity. Nothing in this video is financial advice, it is for entertainment purposes only, but I'm going to take my time to research the entire project because I was in quite a hurry to participate in this project, and I do want to know everything that I can about it, and so far it is looking quite good. Promising. If you like my content, please help me out, share the love and like this video. I would appreciate that so much. If you could just take a second, hit that like button, it would make me as a content creator very happy. Well, enough talking, let's look at this game. So first of all, when I do my research projects, I always start with the white paper. I want to get a first global look of the website. It doesn't look as good. It gives me a little bit of RuneScape vibes, if you know that game. I used to play that like 20 years ago, so it kind of the website doesn't even old school RuneScape. Yeah, so it's kind of the same feeling as this. That's what it feels like to me when I looked at the website. But it's interesting at least. Like I like, obviously I'm a huge RTS gamer, so I like the medieval vibe that it has. But let's go into the white paper. The white paper is quite cool. I looked at it already because it's actually a book, so it's like a medieval book. So it's called Warriors of Aradena Battle Arena. That's basically what the whole game is about. It's a big battle arena. So the arena will be a downloadable application whereby owners of the Warriors of Aradena, which are ERC-721 tokens, which is the Ethereum blockchain, will be able to battle against each other. Owners can log into the arena via the wallet and use to hold their tokens. Those who already signed in, blah blah blah, tavern names, so basically a full virtual game. It is a turn-based strategy game where the objective of the initial game mode is to defeat your opponent in the battle, reducing their commanding warrior's health to 0. Well, I think that's like a normal game. It's still a work in progress, that's what it says here. The aspect of the white paper is to outline and give you a good understanding. So they have quite some pages, which we will go over one by one. So first they will show you the player versus player and then the player versus environment. So two game modes basically. One is against one another, which I think for real ambitious gamers, the player versus players are always the most fun part. But to relax, I mean player versus environment, player versus enemy, that's always nice. These quests will give players the opportunity to win loot chests. Alright, that's quite cool. This graphic demonstrates a 2D design for the alpha version. So there's a game which I'm quite familiar with, which this looks extremely alike. So it's called Colonist from Catan. Yes, like settlers. It's just called Catan. In Dutch it's called Colonist from Catan, but it's just called Catan. So basically this game is like a board game. It looks like this, which you can play, and this obviously looks extremely similar, as you can see. So they took their inspiration, I assume, for a super hyped and super popular game, because I think Catan has like 28 additional add-ons to their original. It's like a board game actually, so quite old school. Take something that works, make it better, pull it into the metaverse. Yeah, quite cool. Players commanding warrior health, and as you can see, it's not like full-blown game studio craziness, but the foundation is there. So you have your castle, your horses, your swordsmen, catapults, and everything like that. Alright, so public release. So this looks like Civilization, which is a game I also play. Alright, the final release version of the game will incorporate 3D graphics. Okay, so that's a lot better. So they're basically saying we will start off with a 2D design just to get things going, which makes sense. It's a lot cheaper, right, in terms of development. And this is, I think, a screenshot from Civilization. If it could look something like this at the end of the day, that would be amazing, right? Yet, I think this will be quite expensive to draft, so I don't know if that's like realistic. Oh, it does even say, this will look somewhat like similar Civilization graphic below. All right, fair enough. So you got some terrain, you got some rules to the game. I'm not really too interested in what the game is about itself. I'm more interested in how the NFTs work, what the thought pattern is of what they're going to do. But you basically have units, infantry, range, cavalry, siege, buildings, quite cool, infantry, attack ranges. So basically how any of these Civilization games also work. So it's like a hybrid. Catan meets Civilization into Warriors of Aradena. All right, so they have thought out the game quite well. If you look at like night attacks, rainy weather, reinforcement, so it's really centered around the actual gameplay. This already looks to me that's something that not a money grab. Right? They're not looking, because we're on page 16 and all they've spoken about is their game. There's nothing about tokenomics, nothing about this thus far, which for me personally, obviously I'm an investor. I look for the tokenomics, I look for the high potential yield, yet this is quite interesting that apparently the person who wrote this white paper, which I assume is the founder, did a lot of effort on the game. All right, so loot chest, that's an important one. Okay, so victory conditions, get your enemy to 0. If a commanding warrior dies in battle, nothing happens to the token. People will never lose their NFT. Okay, that's very important, right? You will not lose your NFT as a result of the gameplay. All games have a maximum turn limit, okay, blah, blah, blah. Loot chest, okay, so can we get play to earn what is in the loot chest? When a player defeats another warrior in battle, they are rewarded with the spoils of war. Loot chests contain variable rewards, including Aradena gold tokens and new NFTs in the form of units or special action collectibles. Okay, that's quite cool. These collectibles are NFTs which will get airdropped to the user's wallet, which can be used in the army, will not be unique one-on-one tokens, will not contain or replace Genesis Warriors, which are limited to an 8,000 supply. Okay, so first of all, first important metric. The Genesis Warrior NFTs, which are available already, are limited to a supply of 8,000. Will have reasonable similar attributes, default, okay, blah, blah, blah. Right, fair enough. You get some barracks where you can host your army, I assume, okay. Other key features, recruitment, okay. In order to allow more than 8,000 people to play the game, while greatly amplifying the value of the Genesis Warriors, there will be similar Axie Infinity breeding systems. Yeah, all right, so this is where I got in. I got a notification of somebody from my community, and if you're not in the community, join the Telegram in the description down below. We share a lot of information before it hits YouTube. If you purchase a male warrior, a Genesis warrior on OpenSea, you can now, at the moment, I think for the next 6 days, get a free female, and they can breed, obviously, inside the game. But it's at super early stages, this game, so I got me a couple just because I really liked what I was seeing. So you got training, the spells, the renown, which I will go into later, right? The 3D models, layer 2 scaling, like Polygon, keep cost lower of airdropping. Yeah, because the Ethereum, I always say I never invest into like ERC 721 projects because of the gas fee. It's just usually ridiculous. I got fucked over with the gas fee trying to mint these things as well. I mean, like $100 gas fee is nothing, which I think is a little too crazy, but I was just too excited about this project. All right, so you get the alpha version, you get the beta version, and then some specifications there. The public release, right, which is important, with the collectible. So I would recommend you to read this. I'm not going to go through this because it's quite boring, right? But because I already know at which stage they are currently. But the white paper is solid. The white paper doesn't tell you anything about tokenomics or nothing like that. And the reason for this is because they're not there yet. So the game basically in the beginning foundation elements where it's currently at, is only playable on the Battlegrounds. The Tavern is coming soon, the comics is coming soon, the market is coming soon. You are early, right? And when I go to their Twitter, they have 24.5k followers. Yeah. The most important thing why I invested into this project already is that the incubator is Seedify, right? They are incubated by Seedify, which means that the main investor of this project is Seedify Fund, which means that when they will do an IDO, which has already been announced on the Discord that they will do an IDO, it will be on Seedify. Well, obviously, you know me, right, where I have a true love-hate relationship with Seedify. Yes, their projects all do 20 to 100x, but the problem is the allocation is really low. So when I saw this project and I was like, man, Seedify, you know, you got Alex Becker, a big YouTuber following this project. You got the Kingpinner, which I'm a private investor into Travis, his project, and Seedify, where there's only 24k followers. For a project still in the very early stages, that's a lot of followers, right? So when it got incubated by Seedify, it brought my attention. When we go to Seedify for a second, what you'll see is that they have a lot of games coming up, right? I participated in a lot of these games, you know, Good Games Guild, I did Gaia World, Cryo War went absolutely ridiculous. These projects all did like a 20, 40x after launch, right? If not 100x. It's absolutely crazy. For example, take Cryo War. Yeah, let's just pull one up. So 1 BUSD is 35, so about 3 cents, 2.8 cents each. Yeah, 2.8 cents was the IDO price. Right now it's $2.30. So we're talking about almost 100x. It's absolutely mad, right? So obviously with Seedify, I was like, man, do I want to get into this project or do I not want to get into this project? So what I did was I went into Discord and I start reading all of these topics, right? The announcements, and they're super active. So from reading these announcements alone, what I noticed was these developers are in this for the game, not for the money, right? So once you read what they're doing, how much passion they have, and that's not something you see a lot in NFTs these days, right? Most projects are just there to make a quick buck. And these guys, they have like tournaments that are already running and shit, and I'm like, wow, that's a little crazy, you know? Like I just came around the corner and they have so much information already. One of the cool things is they have a voting system. So the community can actually vote on things, and one thing that was voted on was specifically that anybody who holds a male and a female, right? So right now, once you get to OpenSea, you can buy males, which I will explain later. Yeah, so you can buy males, and then you can mint a free female. So you can stake at a later stage a male and a female into the Aradena's game, and you get guaranteed allocation for the IDO on Seedify. Well, now I know that the IDOs on Seedify give very low allocation. Now I have a way around this with my guaranteed allocation through being super early. Obviously, I was super early with Soul Chicks. If you have followed my journey on this channel before, with Soul Chicks, I was super early. I've already made about $50,000 in 1 week, and nothing has even happened yet with the project. Now I'm super early with Warriors of Aradena. You know, maybe it will turn out to be a shit project. Yeah, you never know. That's why I always say this is not financial advice, it's just entertainment. I'm documenting my own journey. However, I do a lot of research, right? And this looks very good. So you should always do your own research. But in this case, if I can get guaranteed allocation by staking a male and a female, and I have 5 of them, so 5 males, 5 females, right? Then obviously it would be interesting to get guaranteed allocation on Seedify because all these projects do extremely well. So another important point is this is a medium to long-term play. 2 to 3 months you will have to wait at least for the game developers to give them time to come up with updates. Obviously, when that happens, this project will get more and more eyeballs. It already has 25,000 followers, which I think is a lot for the current state of the game. But yeah, if you got guys like Alex Becker, Seedify on this already, then I have no doubt in my mind that this will blow up, in my opinion, right? Okay, going back to the actual Twitter, yeah, or more so to say what the current stage of the game is. So there are already some options where they have shown here, where they have like a tournament live where you can play. I'm not gonna play, right? I'm just in it right now, and the most important thing is that if you go to the website, you can woman NFT claim. You can claim a woman, right? Let me just change my wallet. All right. So it takes 48 hours after minting for the women to show up in your wallet. So I have 5 warriors here, and I already claimed all the women. So the women list is right here. They're still not shown. So I think it will be tonight. So in about 14 hours, I will be able to see my women. Yeah. What is important is that there are hierarchies as well. So when we go to OpenSea, there is now a Warriors of Aradena collection, which is the Genesis collection, and you have, I think, Women of Aradena. So 2 collections. Make sure to always visit the official one. And you can still mint the females, but they have a warrior check. So the warrior check is basically to ensure that you're not buying a warrior that has already minted a woman. So if you go 4435, so let me remove this, 4435, check, you see this warrior has already been used to claim a woman warrior. So you cannot use this one. So probably the bid floor right now is about 0.2, I believe, for warriors that have not been yet used to claim a woman, right? So 0.2, well, let's try one here, 0.4, 2642. 2642. Okay, your warrior is still able to claim a woman warrior. All right, so if you would buy this one, for example, you would be able to put it in your wallet, of course, once it's purchased, and then claim a woman. So it's very important before you buy one that you first go to the website of Aradena.io, connect your wallet, click on warrior check, and check if the warrior has already claimed a woman or not. So you definitely do not want to make the mistake where you buy a warrior and it can't claim a woman, right? Now, there are quite some options when you look at these warriors, right? You got armor, background, class, eyes, front item, headwear, mouth, weapon, agility, attack, defense. So these are the stats that they have. And these are basically increased rarity. So when we, for example, click on one of the more common ones at the top, so you have mighty, which is basically the base level. You got heroic, and then you got, I think, legendary. And after legendary, you got the king and the queen. So there's 1 king, there's 1 queen, and they've already both been minted. And then I think there's 21 legendary women, 21 legendary men, and of the legendary women, only 4 or 5 have been minted so far. So there's still a lot of legendaries to go. And these legendaries, they are expensive, right? So they're a good opportunity there. But this is a mighty warrior, and then when you look at the properties, you can see 4% of this trade, 15%, 9%. So this one is not that rare, right? You can see, however, that these are actively being purchased and sold, specifically at the moment. Now the project is getting some more eyeballs on it. When we go to, let's say, highest last sale, which I think is always cool to look at, is basically the king, I think. I think it was sold for 15 Ethereum, which is the Mad King. Yeah, so this is the Mad King of this project, and there's only 1 king, and somebody bought it for 15 Ethereum. Is it Gaia Ventures? Is it the like the Gaia Everworld guy? That would be funny. But 15 Ethereum, so we're already talking How much would that be? 40k plus 20, so about 60k, $60,000 for this NFT. That's a lot of money, you know, for a game that's not out yet. But obviously, this is the most important. Everything on it is like legendary, right? It's like the king. So that one got sold for 15 Ethereum. Then the other ones, like here's one for 4 Ethereum, 3.5 Ethereum. So these must be, I think, the legendary guys. Yeah, legendary gladiator. So these are like probably the 21 legendary, which got sold between 2 and 4 Ethereum. Which obviously, when we're talking about 4 Ethereum, we're talking about $16,000. I think that's already a good indication of where this is going to go. When we are looking at, let's say, well, I didn't even see the sale of the king yet. It's quite mad actually, 15 Ethereum, that's mad. When we're looking at basically the complete overview, you can still get in for quite cheap at the moment, right? So the cheapest ones, obviously you have to do the warrior check, but the one I checked was what, like 0.16 or 0.14, where we're talking about $500, probably $600. I'm not saying it's cheap, right? I got mine, I think, for an average price of like $600, and I got like, or like $480, and it was $600 with the gas, I think, something like that. Yeah, because I've invested $2,000 into the NFTs, and I ended up paying another $1,000 of gas, right? So 3,000. All in all, the rarity is obviously quite important, as with any NFT series. So you got yourself your heroic or mighty, heroic, legendary, and then the king, and then the queen, right? So you can also do Aradena. So the bid floor right now is 0.07. And you got Warriors right here. And then you got Women of Aradena. So there's 8,000 Warriors total, and so far have been minted 3,643 women. So still a lot to go, and there's 6 days left. So the bid floor is a lot lower, but as you can see, obviously we want to look at the highest last sale. So it was 2 Ethereum for this legendary. Blonde Tavern Barmaid Sahara is almost an urban legend. So she got purchased again by the Mad King. So that's probably a guy who's really big invested into this project, buying all the legendaries. See, he owns many of the cool ones. Damn, he has a whole fucking army. Look at that. I assume he just loves this game. This is a big player. Let me see. Alright, so he's like fully into the Aradena. I don't know if it's actually like a real person or somebody from the actual game, but yeah, it's cool. He's all in it, so I can respect that. NFT god, and he got like the main king, so that's cool. But yeah, basically the women are still being minted. That's still in process. So very important when you look to purchase a male, do the warrior check, get yourself a free female, which takes 48 hours to be enabled. As you can see, mine are still waiting. I got 2,900, 2,901, 2,902, because I was supposed to only buy 3. Then I got 2 eager and bought another 2 warriors. So I got 2,913 and 2,914. And hopefully in a follow-up video, I can show you guys if I have something good or if I have something normal. For me, if I get something special, it would be an added bonus. I don't really care that much. Obviously, the additional money would be nice. But if I just have any comments or whatever, I'm going to stake them because I want the guaranteed allocation into the Seedify fund. Right, that's the most important thing for me at the moment. So when we go to the home website, obviously right now it's just all about the NFT claim, right here. But there's also the opportunity basically to have the 3 models, right? It's just a strategic game, the play to earn, and then the tavern and stuff, it's still to be published. I think in terms of the website, they could do a little bit of a better job. However, like as I said, the hype is quite real already. So the 8,000 Genesis Warriors sold out in 13 minutes. That's always a good indication that if a project launches, especially in the NFT space, you gotta sell out. If you don't sell out, that's like traction slows down. That's not a good thing. The tavern is currently closed for refurbishment. VT coming soon. Okay, what else we got? Explore, unite. All right, so the tavern then will open. Basically, let's head over to Discord and have a look there. All right. Tavern. The tavern is the kingdom social area. You can personalize your warrior here, give it a name and a unique backstory. You can also connect and chat with other warriors. All right, so the tavern is currently closed. They're redesigning it, but that's what that's used for. All right. I assume in the arena we fight. All right. Is an internal power struggle. Play to earn arena is the place to engage in battle with other warriors. Turn-based strategy. Okay, and then the battlegrounds. Owners will be airdropped a piece of land within the kingdom for each warrior that they own at a later date for no extra cost. All right, there we go. Big topic number 3, which I heard about it, but I forgot it, to be fair. We get free land by holding an NFT. So holding a Genesis Warrior will get you free land, which is also NFTs, right? If you look at games like Sandbox, Decentraland, for the game, which obviously is again an added benefit of being early. Now you can snatch these warriors up for cheap. This will enable a land-based strategy game which will combine with the battle arena. Warriors will be able to create guilds and wage wars on other guilds to conquer more land in order to claim their stake as the new rulers of Aradena. That's dope. Right, so probably the king will have the biggest army, as we just saw the guy who bought the king is accumulating a big army. But what if we all stick together and then take down the king and your boy Colin Digits becomes the new king? That would be cool. I'm looking forward to it, guys. Obviously the lore for anybody who loves lore, me not so much. Right, I like playing games, not reading about games. So they have all kinds of socials here. Development activity, I think that's quite important, but they seem extremely active, so that's obviously also a good thing. So for me, I got like 4 or 5 green flags, 1 red flag, and the red flag being is that the game is still super underdeveloped. However, also obviously gives you the opportunity of making an investment opportunity for yourself, in my opinion, that is super, could be potentially super profitable. Could get wrecked, but we're super early for this game, which I think is great. Like, I'm super happy that I got into the Women of Aradena just at the right moment. Something like this is cool with the head on the spike and shit. That's cool. So they got the team here, which if you guys know me, right, if you guys see my videos before, when I research projects, I want to know everything about the team. They need to link their socials, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, it doesn't matter, and they did. They even have pictures of themselves, right? They have pictures like it's a group of friends that are together, which I think is cool. You know, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I own a lot of companies, if you don't know, and these guys who basically are close friends are going to produce this project together. I feel a little bit more comfortable investing in them just for the dream of it, right? Because nobody ever invested into my businesses when I had a dream, but I made it happen nonetheless. So all good. They have some videos where they have like an interview where people ask them questions, and I hope maybe even one day on this channel we might have them over to ask some questions if we're all excited about this project as I am. So laws of the land, obviously, and there's a comic announcement which I think was quite cool. So November is finally here. We hope you're excited. Time for Aradena Uprising is almost when we're looking into giving this comic. So comic details, 100 available for 0.1 Ethereum each, 1 comic per transaction. Confirmed November drop. Is it like a comic book? Or what is the benefit of it though? Okay, comic, good thing. Okay, but what can I do with it? Is it just for funds, just a collectible, or do I get something? because I need more power. Okay, so they got like a real drawer and shit, so that's quite cool. Max transaction from 3 to 1. Okay, but what do I get though? So that's something on my question list. What do I get if I have one of these comics? Is it just for fun, or is there actually, because it looks quite nice, but I don't read comics. So if it's just for jokes, then I'm gonna pass, because $400 for a comic book is a little too crazy. However, if it gives you additional benefits or perks, whatever, inside the game, then obviously I am very much interested, and I will try with all 3 of my wallets to snatch one of them. All right, there's a newcomers area where they basically explain some stuff. One of the main things I want to show you right now is the roadmap. So the roadmap gets posted quite a lot. We're still in the Q4, so they already updated the website. They are yet to update the tavern, as we just saw it's closed. Discord minigames, secret project. As you can see, this is made by a group of friends, right? And that's obviously a pro and a con at the same time. As I mentioned way in the start of this video, this is a medium to long-term play. Do not look for the quick 1 week flip, because it will not happen. These guys are extremely passionate. They're working hard, but they're working together on their own pace, right? So what I've seen, what I've researched so far, is they are trying to do everything the community wants, but it takes time, right? And they're not 100 developers. There's just a small group of friends that are trying to pull this off and make the experience a real one, right? So not a money grab, like actually for the game, for the brand, all that. So the alpha game release is coming up. Genesis Warrior Holder airdrop will happen. So basically, obviously, that's a huge pro of holding these warriors. Apart from the staking and the guaranteed allocation that I'm looking for, you also get additional airdrops, basically 1 every quarter. One of the, my business brain, my investment brain, is that the roadmap, it has not really been thought out that well, right? We're looking almost a year from now, and they're looking at land strategy, game development, and another airdrop. That's it, right? So they have a lot of things lined up in the short term, but in the long term, not that much. It makes sense though. I just want to stress it makes sense, because especially if it's a community-based project, the community gives a lot of input, and that's what I've seen so far. That's what I personally like. Sometimes I dislike it when the community decides to do something I don't want to do, but I mean, the biggest amount of votes, that's what they're going to do. So in order to be able to sketch like a long-term vision for the project might be quite difficult. Just something to take into consideration, that is obviously something that would happen. They're going for an NFT market, which I think any project has that currently. PvP duels is something that I would be interested in. New in-game NFTs, awards and loot chest, training camps, warrior traits and spells, another airdrop, new modes. See, it's still all quite vague, but the token is obviously very important. So they said further development to increase token liquidity. So when they're talking about token liquidity here, further increase, it means that the IDO has already happened. So we're looking for an IDO between Q4 and Q1 probably. So it's only like a 4 to 6 week hold, I assume, before, and obviously Seedify wants to make moves as well with this project before that IDO happens. So one, I would have extreme benefit of holding the NFTs right now. I get staking, I get airdrop, I get reward, I have the guaranteed allocation, potential times 40. I like the team, I like the project itself, and that's just for a $2,000 investment, $3,000-ish. Makes sense to me. And that's basically why I maybe pulled the trigger a little bit early, because I think this was Saturday night when I did this. But it just, I looked at it, I looked at the artwork, I looked at the community, because usually that's my first thing, the team and the community, and it just made sense to me, right? And when something makes sense, you pull the trigger. Now I'm doing a little bit more investigation, and it turns out to be the good choice. So always do a lot of research first before you actually dive into something. But look at these feedback IDs, and the amount of I don't want to say extensive feedback, but at least people are taking time and effort to write up feedback, right? Like what's important. And then obviously there's quite some interaction based on what could potentially be used for the game. So just thought about the staking thing where you stake one man and one woman for $10 allocation. Would be really exciting if it's $10 allocation to the seed round, since you even can't get that in Seedify. I had an idea, what if we did partnerships with obstacle course challenge brands like Spartan Race, that if you were to complete this, train your warrior as well, like you get silver for it, like real life stuff. Ironman race, give yourself some unique card and in-game currency. And then that's when people are, I would say, not invested into the project. They are already obviously invested, but they are more so thinking along with the team in order to improve the concept, which is something that most, I think, NFT brands are already either too immature to accept feedback or too big to take advice from their following. So with this feedback ideas, if you see the shit ton amount of posts that have been made, there's like a continuous cycle. Then again, one thing that I mentioned before was the polls, right? Women airdrop. How do you want to do? Do you want to have an airdrop? Does it have to be minted? All these things, please answer the poll. And they decided to do a minting once you hold the Genesis Warrior, which I think is fair, worked out really well. And they got some show off here where people show off. I like to watch this just to see, because I'm not really 1000% into this game. Obviously, I'm still super new, so I'm still reading the chats, asking some questions. I did ask some questions about the legendaries the other day. How does that work? So here it is. So I said, how would one know these legendaries that they're not revealed yet? It says like some issues with OpenSea. They would be updated with the meta code. I'm like, how many legendary queens are there? Stupid question, because obviously there's only one queen, but for the legendary there are 21. So that's basically how I get my information, by asking, right? And literally I got like a reply 1 minute later, and this I think is not even like an admin or something. It's just somebody who's like in love with the project. Look at the avatar as well, which I can appreciate, you know, that gave me good community feelings. So all in all, when we look at the pricing, right, because obviously I said I would make a price prediction, and I always do with these projects, we have to go back to Seedify, right, because I like to look at established patterns. These projects might not be the same as Aradena, but it would be one of the main focuses for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 projects that they have launched so far. We're going to look how much that brought in. Then I'm going to make it relative to this project's NFT price and the coin potential, and then see how much we could potentially earn from this, right? And it's not going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars, don't get me wrong, right? Because we're still super early, so it will be like a rough estimate. So let's start with the Hero Arena, which launched for 10 cents. Currently $1, so times 10. Did achieve some all-time highs, but didn't get too much traction, right? Yeah. So at the point, times 17, times 10 at the moment, still good. EC, also 10 cents, Acknowledger. I know that one did really well. Slow down a little bit. So 10 cents times 12, but it did have like a huge spike, right, to like $4 on the all-time high. So times 40 right now, times 12 and a half. Gaia was, how much is this? 15-ish? Yeah. 15 cents. Right now sitting at about 96, but it did recover because I'm holding Gaia, so I know the rate. It did really well on launch, went all the way to $2, then it plummeted, basically holding strong at around $1. Still at times 8. Well, Good Games Guild did really well, launched for 33 cents. It's gone parabolic the last couple of days. I've been following it. Yeah, $11, 33 cents all the way to $14. That's 50x, 50x return. Scotty Beam, 4 cents. I haven't looked at this project at all. 15 cents. All right, so when I said 40 to 100 times returns, it might not always be the case. Cryo War, obviously, like 2.8 cents. We already looked at this one. And ending up with $2.32. So this is obviously a huge return, right? Looking at some project like the FINA, which was like 1 BUSD is 2.5 FINA, which was in that case 40 cents. Yeah. 40 cents, FINA right here, you know, $5.6. They all do extremely well, and the most important thing I think with Seedify, they hold long term. Well, obviously we know Blocktopia went absolutely mad, so that was well, let's just look it up because they usually open Blocktopia. Right, look. It opened right here on like 0.5 cent, went all the way to like 16 cents. So there's like a huge 400x project, but that's like rarely to happen, right? So 400x, we got some 10x's, we got some 40x, but the average maybe 25x, right? So on Seedify alone, as I said way in the beginning, incubated by Seedify, that was one of my main interests. Then the second part is that Alex Becker is on it, and my friend Travis, the Kingpinner, is also on it. So I invested in Travis, his private NFT project, as a seed investor, and I follow Alex since he started Meta Hero. Market Hero is actually what it's called. Meta Hero is another coin. So what are we looking at for this project? All right, so basically what I'm thinking is that they need time. Time is the most important assets for these guys because the project is still so early. When you see relative to other projects, I don't think, unless they come with consistent updates to have an additional benefit of holding these, because as soon as you have a male and a female and you would breed them, you create opportunity for other players, right? So we need to look at the scarcity element which drives the price. Is there a lot of hype on this game? Could there be mass adoption? Then they need more players. There are only 8,000, right? 8,000 opportunities to play. And if you look at this king guy, he's holding like 40, 50 of them already, right? So that's important to consider. Do they have a roadmap for consistent updates? Yes, right? So I'm saying right now, 0.07, I think it will hold at this for quite a while. People have bought these NFTs to mint free women and then dump them again. So I don't think we'll see a drastic change over the next 2 weeks. However, what I do think is that this will slowly go up the more elements are being released. So the tavern, the comic, the market, even if you could trade them like on the website itself, would obviously be better. And maybe some additional promo, right? Because with 25,000 people already on it, there's not too much promo going out. You know, the designs like this, I mean, these designs, these are like this because of the NFTs, right? But this could be a little bit better. It doesn't look that great. The logo looks great, right? Why not put in some additional money in marketing? But I think they're just not there yet. Do I think these will go to 1 Ethereum? Probably not, right? I think your legendaries, the heroics is what you need to look for, or what's it called? Mythical? I don't know. The lowest level, definitely not. Maybe the second or third level, right? Your legendaries is probably where you want to be because those are already being sold for like 4 Ethereum. Up until the alpha, when the land becomes available, I think these things will have their most traction. So we're talking 4 to 6 months from now, right? At that point, these will be extremely high demand, and you also see at that moment probably 250,000 Twitter followers, right? The Discord will be blowing up, but you have the benefit right now to potentially, if you like, do your own research, to get in early for a small amount. And I'm saying like 0.07 Ether, even if you want to mint a woman, 0.16 Ether, that's not that big of a price for the potential that this holds, taking into consideration all the different elements, right? All right, so I'm just talking about the men NFTs right now, right? So I'm looking for a return on my NFTs over the next 4 months, maybe 2x, 5x. Yes, then I would be very happy. So did I say 2 months? Yeah, up until January. So if I go to women, which I also have 5, and I don't know which ones I have yet, which is important. I'm looking for a 1x, right? 100% a return, so basically 2x. I got these for free, so I will not include them by themselves. I will include them into my men Warriors of Aradena return, right? Because basically I bought the Warriors for 2,000 plus gas, so 3,000 total. I got 5 Warriors, 5 women, which are worth right now, well, let's make the calculation, shall we? Let me pull up my Excel, which I always use, which I have right here. So I can go into, I'll use my Salt Chicks tab. So we have 0.07 Ether, right, times 5. 0.07 ETH times 5 is 0.35, and the other one is 0.93 times 5. Okay, so that total is half an Ether, and 1 ETH right now. Where's CoinMarketCap when you need it? 1 ETH right now is 4,223 times 4,223, which is about 2,301. That's the current value, right? I spent 3,000 on it because obviously the floor price here is not taking into consideration the minted women availability, which I did take into consideration to mint the women. And maybe we have some more expensive women there, but I'm just taking into consideration because if I would dump, I would sell at floor price, which means minus 700 right now. That's the opportunity cost of the investment, which is primarily due to the gas, right? Because we paid $1,000 in gas total for the entire project. So far, fine, right? So we got the bid floor, which is basically 2,300. That's what we could get potentially right now, right? And I'm looking to exit this project at a 5x 11k would be great, right? Depending on the features they come out with on this project. So that's one thing I want to stress most, and that's one thing that I will leave you after the IDO token price prediction with. The updates of this game will be crucial, right? As I said before, we are super early. We need to be able to take into consideration that the next 2 or 3 months of this project updates are going to make or break this game. Because it's incubated by Seedify, I think they would not back a shit project, and therefore I have good hope. On the token itself, if we get $10 allocation guaranteed for any 1 pair we stake per month. I'm going to stake mine for 3 months, right? As I said, the timeline is probably 3 months. So 30 times 5 is $150 guaranteed allocation. Then I do 150 times an average ROI, let's say of 25. I would make $3,750 in addition to my 11,000 bucks. Is 15,000 bucks. For me, as a project which runs medium long term with a relative small investment and opportunity of a 7x, that is my verdict, worth it. I will keep you guys up to date on what's actually happening with the Warriors of Aradena over the next weeks, if not months. As soon as there's a major update, come back to my channel, and I hope you come back anyway, and I will let you know what the actual update is and how it will go, what I think and what it will do with the price, of course. I'm an investor in it for the money, in it for the research, in it for my passion for money, and not so much to play the actual game. Just gonna be straight with you, right? So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate it going through everything with you. This is my personal research. This is what I like to do as far as looking at the project, keeping up to date, have at least some form of idea on what I'm investing in, right? You might have a way different approach, and that's fine too. If you have some ideas on how I could improve my research or something that I might have missed in the Warriors of Aradena, please drop it down in the comments below. I'm a super humble guy, or do I say myself? Say so myself. I would really appreciate. This is also new for me, you know. I'm just documenting my journey, and I would love to know somebody with a more expert vision what you think is important, and I might take it into consideration in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.